right. All right. Gotta make sure all of the technicals is right before we get into the festivities. All right. Now we can get into it. Let's start the show, huh? Yes. Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another one. We got another one. Hotep History Live with your host, President Hotep Dubes, representing Hotep Nation. Yeah, man. It's a classic right here. Come on in, come on in. You know what time it is. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm hyped for the night. Come on. There we go. Come on, y'all. Come on in here. Yeah. You got another good one. Yeah. Talk to him, Spitter.
Dedicated to the winners and the losers, cause the night deep, got knocked the fuck out. Rick got back his beat cruiser. Just living for that day to make them pay.
Come on now.
Serve cold on a doobie ashtray.
Where y'all at? Come on.
Windows open halfway. I'm
living in a matinee early. Come on.
Fashionably late and you nervous, mad out of place. You pretending to be comfortable and showing on your face. And them niggas that you think holding you down just looking for cake. And then whoever got a slice on the plate
falling like rain.
Befriended and betrayed.
All in all,
viciously bitten by niggas you was just calling your dogs. And it was all good just a week ago. Chilling by them freaking hoes, feet kicked up
when you should have been on your toes. Come on.
Killing with the flow, these new freshers in your Easter clothes.
I ain't tripping off man, niggas to each his own.
So ignore my dreads, can't to your own home. Might take my hair cause it's puffin' no cone. Fucking bitches who won't let you make it past the friend zone.
Come on.
Ice water, tall glasses, drink it in. It goes down like nails if you frail. Jet fuel, laboratory reported it burned through the test tube. Hand through your rag top roof while you in the drive-through waiting on that slow ass fast food.
From the sky food. Yes. Come on in. Welcome.
Yeah.
To another episode.
Let me see it.
A Hotep History Live with your host, with the most, President Hotep Dubes, representing Hotep Nation. Let's go, man. Get your asses in here. Let's get it together.
850 bird shit on the windshield, hit the wipers.
Mother Nature's crying.
Harmonizing, homicide, riding on these trains. Think when dope boy caught the fool to
kill Ricky.
Them niggas was lunching, slipping. Monster told dope boy, cut the lights, nigga. Watch his own grind time working Mike bigger.
Yes.
This here's the digital track. Rap on these bitches.
You live on all these platforms. Let's go.
Like pressure on these suckers means
happy about it.
Feeling like pennies falling from the roof of the
what's going on Patreon? What's going on Kick? What's going on YouTube? What's going on Twitter, man?
Got plants on property.
It's Friday. What's up?
Show my pictures to your stylist like buy this outfit for me. But the clothes don't make the man. A man made them pants. His flight leave at 8.
Right.
My plane land ain't that grand. I got pounds of weed in the plan. To let you suckers know who the motherfucking. Oh man, bad weather. And that shelter won't help you. Sink, swim, or swelter. Temperature rising. So with the water level.
Where's you nigga hiding? Yeah. How you doing? How you feeling? Shout out to everybody coming through, man. All right. All right. You know what? We got another one. I want to play another one. We here, man. It's a classic tape. It's a classic tape, man. Come on through. Come kick it with Hotep dudes for a little bit, man. We're gonna get into some pretty interesting stuff that I found, stuff that I didn't know. So I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. But until then,
spit that clean shit, hand sanitizer, my saliva. Niggas thinking that they bitches in the blind, but she got her own mind to follow. Decision easily made, one of these don't belong. Me and four lames on the same page. Elko, fresh out the paint shop, polo green, Krispy Kreme glaze, clear coated, 8 times over high, roller stone, rolling halfway home, till I realized I left my phone. By this show I was just boning, slipping on my pimpin', gotta get back to her crib before she realized what I did and go to finger picking. Trying to contact my other women, shit them hoes do when they feel like they entitled to position. That's why I play them close but from a distance. If you could dig it, damn near in love with all them hoes when I with them. But once I don my clothes, spray cologne, darted for the front door. Jet life, jet wise respect, I gotta go. I'm on hustle like a mo, on hustle like it's dope. I'm on hustle like it's coke. Yeah, on hustle like a mo, on hustle like it's dope, on hustle like it's coke. Nigga,
yeah, that'll do it. I had to properly start the show. You know how we start the show, man. We always got to start the show with some spitter. Gotta show love to the OG. But again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Another episode of Hotep History Live, and I'm excited. How are you guys doing? Let me know in the chat. Talk to me tonight. What we getting into, what the weekend looking like for you. We finally made it. Okay? Made it to the end of the week. You already know what I'm going to ask you. Did you get those goals accomplished? Did you get those missions done? Did you meet those objectives? That's going to be questions that we're always going to ask at the top of the show. So hopefully you did. Hopefully you are better today than you were yesterday or last Friday. That's the most important thing. You got to be better. All right. So my day was pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. Pretty phenomenal. I have been recording a whole bunch of content for the Patreon, and I've been dropping them pretty much daily. I just dropped the let's get into it. I dropped my latest video on Patreon right here. T. Thomas Fortune and the Political Independence of the Negro. It's a very dope video. It's based upon his writings and his declaration to Black American politics. And I think he had a really, really great idea. And my only hope was that this lesson is actually going to resonate in the 21st century, because it 100% applies. 100% applies today in our modern politics. So I really, really want you guys to check it out. It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/Hotep History. You know, I say it all of the time. As a matter of fact, make sure you're subscribing to all of the stuff here. You already know. I say it every episode. Patreon, Kick, YouTube, Instagram, me on Twitter, and then, of course, TikTok. Daily content. This stuff comes out daily. This stuff comes out on a very, very frequent basis. So we got a bunch of mini documentaries and long form documentaries that I'm going to be, dropping over the weekend and going into next week. I'm talking about tons and tons of stuff. Honestly, a lot of the stuff, not like a good majority, but a good percentage of the stuff that I make scripted content for are things that we uncover on the live stream. A lot of this stuff we learn in real time together. That's the real reason why I really love doing Hotep History Live, because it just educates me in real time. That's one. And then two, over on the Patreon, when we go to the Patreon live streams, like, we get into the archives, we dig deep. And so there's a lot of stories that we uncover on the Patreon live. Well,
the live stream on Patreon. So consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. Somebody just subscribed to the Patreon a few minutes before I started the show. So shout out to them. Thank you. Welcome aboard. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it. It's something that I really, put my, my stamp on. This is definitely worth the money, and you're going to get more than enough. You know what I'm saying? More than you expect to pay for. So, yeah. And then, of course, tomorrow we have the Hotep History Podcast. The Hotep History Podcast. So look out for that. It's going to be on Twitter Spaces on my page. It'll be, I want to say, episode 6. I think we're on episode 6. So, yeah. Come on through, join the conversation. That's why I host it on Spaces, so you guys can come on stage and, have the discourse, have the debate, have the discussion, and, get to it, because, the discussion of history is real important. In the same way that, you talk about cultural things, financial things, political things in the modern context, having historical conversations are extremely important, because it allows you to really understand what it means to be in the position you're in the present day. Once you understand the historical context of which that you were able to operate the way you are in 2025, I think you'll have a lot more level of pride, and you'll take it a lot more seriously. I truly do. I think that understanding where you come from and how deliberate and intentional the ancestors were about being able to get your grandparents or your parents to, where they are, to then have you, it's extremely important to understand that. And one of the things that I've been like mulling over and having conversations about is actually how epigenetics, history, and like trauma works. Like particular behaviors that are exhibited amongst, people, period, but specifically Black Americans, that like how much of that is actually tied to epigenetics and having particular mindsets or behaviors actually be passed down on some like hereditary type time. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that when you're a child, as a human being, period, but especially when you're a child, you're able to soak up so much knowledge. You can, pretty much mold a child into anybody they want to be or you want them to be, just based upon how apt to learning they are. But I also think that there are certain intrinsic behaviors that are passed down through genetics for sure. And when you insert history into that conversation, it's like you talk about all of the different circumstances that took place with Black Americans, a century, 2 centuries, 3 centuries ago. You really start to just think about how that affects them in their context. Because, this is centuries ago. So there's, several lifetimes there, and how that will affect even the ancestors' behaviors in reactions and reactions to stimuli back then. So, yes, these are the types of things that I want to talk about on the Hotep History Podcast. So if you're into those types of conversations, come on over. It's 12 o'clock every Saturday on Twitter Spaces. Just follow me, and you will definitely be able to, see it and be a part of it. So, yeah. The people on Patreon made it very much known. I put the poll out there so they can vote for the topic tonight. And I gave them 3 options, and overwhelmingly 83% of the vote went to tonight's topic. So this is clearly a favorite among the Patreon viewers and stuff like that. So, and I appreciate it. And we're definitely going to get to it. There's some people that I looked up that I didn't, know about before, and I don't know if you guys knew about them, but I'm going to talk about them tonight. But before we get to that, I did have a few things that I wanted to talk about that kind of have something to do with history, kind of don't, you know what I'm saying? But, just bear with me. Just have a conversation with me. It's Friday night. We chilling. We're having a good time. Go to the Hotep History Live folder. Let's see what we bookmarked this week. We're going to go over some things that I seen. Let's go on down so you get a preview. So the first one was a piece of, I want to say like not legislation, but it's a registration form. So I wanted to bring attention to it because it seemed pretty interesting to me. And I don't know if you can see it as clearly as I do, but this is a call to action. A call to action for people in Massachusetts. And it's to testify, for the Massachusetts bill, H4351, the Office of Freedmen Affairs public hearing. And it takes place, I want to say next Tuesday on the 14th in room B2 at the Massachusetts State House, 24 Beacon Street, Boston, Massachusetts. Make your voice heard. H4351 seeks to establish the Massachusetts Office of Freedmen Affairs, a groundbreaking step toward addressing the needs and recognition of American freedmen families. Legislatures need to hear from you. And it tells you the 3 ways you can take action. You got oral testimony, in person or virtual. Registration deadline was today at 4 o'clock. So I'm super late on this. I should have talked about it on Wednesday, but things happen. But yeah, I really hope this still can happen. Okay, here we go. Fill out the testimony registration form before the deadline. You may also sign up in person on the day of the hearing. Look for the registration table outside room B2. After registering, you'll receive instructions by email on how to testify virtually. Keep your remarks short, 2-3 minutes. Lead with your ask. Please vote yes on H4351 and then share your story. So, how I tell you guys about, getting locally involved civically or through, your local politics. This seems like a good one to get behind. My brother Naeem actually put this on the timeline, and I thought it was very interesting. Again, I totally forgot about talking about it on Wednesday stream, but I still think this is very important. And so these are the things that the ancestors did a lot of. Local organizing and being able to have grassroots action inside of local politics. This was like a big thing. This is the reason why a lot of the advancements in Black American history were able to get done just off of the strength of Black American organizing on the local level. And so this is super dope. I don't know the people who are behind this, specifically, but I really don't see anything wrong with this and see only good, honestly, and what can be done with it. Being able to have an American freedman, office, Freedmen Affairs office, you'll get a step closer to being able to get a lot of Black American protections on the local level. And being able to, get behind local legislation that'll actually aid Black American. And it's not lost on me the use of freedmen here. That's not necessarily new Black language. The new Blacks would have said something about like, person of color or BIPOC, BIPOC. They would have hit you with some language like that. Using freedmen is a very intentional choice here. So I wanted to put that on you guys' radar. You dig what I'm saying? I thought it was very interesting. You don't know. That Lupe song stuck in my head. All right, so the next up, this is a video that I seen that I thought was very interesting, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. I'll give mine, but it was very interesting.
And the truth be told is you wouldn't be afraid of ICE or deportation if your home countries wasn't fucked up. And I'm not even saying that to be an asshole, but what I've noticed is that every single time we make mention to, okay, well, what can be done to help the people in your country? You know, you're coming over here, you're doing a great job, you're getting all these degrees, you're an engineer, doctors. Why not take those accolades and that education and that knowledge to your place of origin and start to build up the people there? Okay, and then every time we always get this pushback of this blame game. It always goes back to the blame game. The blame game is a popular one. It's always like, well, it's because the West is stealing all of our resources and they're destabilizing our country. Okay, I get that. I can give you that. There's a lot of things that go on outside of these nations that are beyond your control, but you also got to look at your own leadership too. A lot of it is not just the West stealing from you. A lot of it is your own leaders just selling you out, just period, point blank, and gladly and happily doing it too. Like keeping everything that's given to the country that's supposed to help build the nation and keeping it for themselves and living as kings while the rest of their countrymen live in poverty or or barely even maybe build up one big city, maybe one or two big cities per country in a lot of these places around Africa and other parts of the world. And then just the rest of, well, just that one video that says 600 million Africans will never know what electricity is, will never have electricity. Like, that's more than double the United States population will never have electricity. Like, come on now. Like, at some point, you got to stop putting the blame on everybody else and start asking yourself, what can I do? What can I do? Because it's like, damn, you mean to tell me that out of everybody that gets put into power, nobody gives a fuck? Like, it's a lot of corrupt leaders all around this world, but you mean to tell me that nobody that ever gets in power actually gives a fuck?
So, yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I agree with everything that she is saying. Keeping all the way tall, like I agree with it. When it comes down to, you know, being able to fix your homeland and, you know, improve on your homeland based upon the skills that you have or the skills that you develop, you know, for the greater good of your homeland, in spite of corrupt regimes or, you know, that one leader that you know, keep voting for or backing, and they're deeply corrupt and they're, you know, eroding, you know, the communities based upon their rule or their power over that particular place. I 1000% agree. On top of that, I 1000% hold this on Black Americans as well. Like, I hold this same sentiment for Black Americans as well. It's like that exact advice is exactly what the ancestors were talking about. The exact, like, the execution of what she is saying is what the ancestors did in Black America. You understand? So when we are having all of these different, you know, complaints about what's going on in this country, I'm never going to say that what you're saying is not true unless it's just objectively not true. But even when it is true, the advice that this young lady said applies to you too, especially in America, because there are things like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and being able to hold the government accountable, being able to, you know, sue, being able to hold any corrupt politician accountable, much, especially on a local level, than it is in some second or third world country. So again, sound advice, amazing advice. And I 1000% know that there are Black Americans who take this advice and live this advice and execute on this advice every day in this country. However, it's going to take more people. That's just the reality of it. The amount of people that are civically engaged on a local level, as far as Black America is concerned, it's not enough. It's not enough. And so, again, the increasing of the participation or the execution of this advice is what I'll say to Black America as it pertains to this video, because she's dead. She's on point. Like, you have to go back to your homeland and be able to build up your homeland. Like, that's the whole reason why it's a homeland. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing for Black Americans. This is our homeland. Like, we have to be the ones to improve on it. And that's just that. That is the responsibility of Black Americans. Now, if in order to do that, or a part of doing that is holding, external groups that are not Black American, whether it be politicians, the government, or whatever it is, that's fine too. But again, that's not going to be put on or activated or executed by anybody other than Black Americans. That's just the raw truth. You're not going to get any Black American advancement without Black Americans being at the helm. That's the requirement. That's the number one requirement. Because we've seen when, non-Black Americans try to enact some type of solution to our problems, and it be just off base. It'd be super off base. And then at that point, now we're in the worse position than we were when the complaint, or when the, before the, so-called solution was enacted. So again, Black Americans know what they want and need. Black Americans understand the, the gravity of this situation. And all we got to do is just double down on what we know. That's simply what the ancestors were about. And that's the reason why, like, it's so easy for me to back them up in the 21st century, because again, I say it all of the time, the ancestors were extremely, practical and pragmatic. It had to make logical common sense before anything. No matter how radical, no matter how conservative, no matter what, the ancestors wanted to see how pragmatic and practical it could be. How many of us can actually execute on what you just suggested that we did, or something that we should do? That's the reason why that T. Thomas Fortune video is so dope, and you guys should check it out, because that is how he approached it. Even with all of the radical or revolutionary ideas that he was presenting, it was based in practicality and pragmatism. So that way, it's not hard for somebody to grasp or pick up or be able to adapt or adopt. Like, that's the whole point. You dig? So I really, thought that she was on point. And like I said, it goes double for Black Americans, period. This was just some good game that I heard, and I thought it was super dope. I wanted to put y'all on to this. This was super dope. This was dope. I appreciated this. Let's go back.
See, sometimes you got to leave in the right before you be in the wrong. Fuck around and stick around a motherfucker you been doing the right, and they treat you wrong, you gonna be in the wrong. I don't give a fuck how thick you think your skin is. They just peeling them motherfucking layers away till they get you down to nothing. And majority of people that got thick skin, when they get down to nothing, that's some dangerous shit. See, when you leave in the right, that shit eat a hole in them motherfuckers. Fake ass narratives, fake ass beefs, all this and that, because they trying to make themselves feel like they right when they know they wrong. We human, we only can take so much, and if you sit there and let them motherfuckers continue to play with you, you will be in the wrong. My dad always told me, leave in the right before you be in the wrong. See, sometimes you got to leave in the right.
That's gangster.
Before you.
That's gangster. That's gangster advice right there. That's some real solid advice. For real. And honestly, as somebody who could have left in the right but ended up leaving in the wrong, that resonated with me. I don't know about any of y'all. I don't know if you guys are former crash outs or have crashed out, or gotten to a point that you didn't necessarily need to get to if you would have just had gotten the hell on. You feel me? And like, just dead ass, just not even entertain it. I think that, is the reason why this resonates with me so much, because like, I legitimately had this happen. You know what I'm saying? This happened for sure. And I could tell you, I would have saved myself so much stress, so many headaches, if I would have just listened to this type of advice, for sure. Sam in the chat, what's going on, Sammy? Sammy says, in Nigeria, it's going to take us backing a candidate up and physically being willing to retaliate should they try to off said candidate. Ooh. They have killed radicals who sought to better Nigeria. See? People on the ground in Africa. You feel me? Are letting you know what's really going on. Like, that's a fact. Like, you got to be able to take your country back. It's a dangerous thing. And that's the reason why, like, I can go on an entire rant about that. Like, people not understanding just how serious it is to not only think of a nation or think of creating one, actually build that nation, and then sustain and maintain that nation. I think, especially from the Western, more American view of it, I think that there's a level of, like, you don't really care about how the hot dogs are made, let alone wanting to see it. And it's like, I'm not saying everything is so gruesome. I think a lot of it isn't. I think a lot of it is just, civilization building. Like, I'm talking about pouring the concrete, being able to create sewers and water pipes and, electricity, like infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a wholesome thing. Like, that's well, I mean, it could be like bad and corrupt or whatever, but I'm talking about just objectively speaking. Like, I wonder how many people could actually successfully build and maintain and sustain a nation with millions of people in it, and having to make sure that nation is thriving. I think as Americans, because our system, runs fairly, better than most of the world. We have our flaws, obviously, but, running water, consistent electricity, healthcare, education, safe neighborhoods, like, America, like, as far as what is experienced as the best of a person's life, America can afford that and can afford to give it to you. Some, people who, are ultra net worth, or, just making enough money to be able to take care of themselves and their family comfortably. Like, yeah, those types of experiences or lifestyles are lifestyles that are, like, literally dreamed of in other parts of the world. And it's not to say that they're not wealthy elite people or wealth building, people, and you can sustain yourself in other countries. But I just know my country, the United States of a motherfucking America, we have some of the best, if not the best, in a lot of things when it comes to lifestyle. I know there's a lot of people who, focus on what's fucked up about our country and shit like that, when, there's going to be certain points in my Hotep history journey that I'll do the same thing. But I'm never going to act like, this country is just so terrible on the global scale. We definitely have our problems, for sure. I don't, make excuses for that, but we're not going to act like this isn't the United States of America, Jack. Like, we're not going to do that. You're out of your mind. What else we got? Here we go. You know, when I seen this, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Gotta put this on the show. Let's get into it.
But I don't just talk, I do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. They was gon' hate, I knew it. But I don't just talk, I do it. I can just hear the word, I do it. This right here is deeper than music. Pick the side, I never confuse it. Fit without works, it's dead, it's useless. Christ, I'm hot, I'm lit like fuses. Me and the world can't miss, can't fuse it. Gave me the word, so I'm gon' use it. Say you step for the can't improve it. Yeah, I just wanna know about what you mean. You to the world that Christ is king. Look like the world behind the scenes. What you mean? What you mean? Hey, Soul Train line, you tryna dance in between. Wait, they was gon' hate, I know it.
Fade too?
But I don't just talk, I do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
They was gon' hate, I know it. But I don't just talk, I do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. What's your thing? Boy, I work for the king. I don't know what you about. D-boy green, Mr. Profane with the clean. Boy, you better watch your mouth. Tryna mix with the world. For all the diamonds and pearls. Do anything for clout. Hey, do anything for clout. Hey, do anything.
Yeah, he cooked. And this is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about when I be talking about all of those old stories with the ancestors, like, starting their trades, and, like, their dad was a barber, or they just had a job young. We learned about the 10-year-old boy in, like, 19 something, like early 20th century, who was a cab driver. Like he was literally driving people around for money at 10 years old. Now I understand that's a little bit on the extreme side. You feel me? But you are able to actually do things as a kid. If you raise them in a particular way, if you raise them intentionally, you'll actually be able to, produce and reap great benefits from your kid. As you can see, he's not in a sweatshop. As you can see, this is not some oppressive way of raising your child to where he can't be a kid and, you're taking away his childhood and all that other stuff. It's like, no. At a very young age, at 8 years old, he was able to hone a skill, a trade specifically, of barbering. And as you can see, he did a damn good job. And so we need to applaud this young man, whoever taught him, more than likely his dad, how to cut hair. And this is something that he'll be able to keep in his back pocket for the rest of his life. He can go off to be an astrophysicist or, a piano player, whatever it is, but he'll always have this skill, especially if he keeps honing it from this age on for the next 10 years. If he does this from 8 to 18, he might be a master barber in his city with all of the clients, and he doing all of the, new age stuff with the, the ring light and content or whatever. But 100%, I believe in raising your kids intentionally, like actually putting them in positions to actually be great in life, whether that's putting your kid onto barbering or getting them into STEM early or medicine or law, any of the portions of our country that actually pay very well very early in the careers, might I add. I think that's great. I think that's exactly what Black America needs. I think that if more people actually study Black American history, they would see that this was second nature to the ancestors. Quite literally second nature. Like they're ironically, little boys this kid's age would actually be working. You know what I'm saying? Like that was actually a thing. They would only be going to school, a few months out of the year, because it was more economically, advantageous for that family to have a boy about this size and this age in the field working with them, being able to make more money. That's more productivity. So if somebody can only, harvest but so many crops, like you're a human being, you know what I'm saying? You working like a machine, you moving like a machine, but you're still a human. You still get tired, you still get hungry, and there's only but 24 hours in a day, and you still need to rest, you still need to eat, you still need to be able to live. So the more the merrier when you are out there working. And that's whether if you're doing working in agriculture, which the majority were, or you're talking about mechanics or anything like that. The more hands on deck, the faster the work gets done, and the quicker that you're able to get paid. And because like in agriculture, you got paid by the pound, the more that you're able to harvest, the more you get paid. So having children with skills and being very intentional with those skills is very, very ancestral when it comes to Black America. Very, very ancestral. It wasn't even like a major thing to see an 8-year-old with these types of skills. It was second nature for Black America. Like that's exactly what we do. That's how we do it. You feel me? This is just the Black American ethos, or the ancestral Black American ethos that I talk about all of the time. So shout out to this young man, shout out to his family, and shout out to the ancestral Black American ethos still living on to this very day. Straight up and down. What else we got? So I saw this and I was very intrigued. So I know that Assassin's Creed, let's see. I know that Assassin's Creed has gone under fire by, adding a Black character that was the Black samurai in feudal Japan or whatever. His name was Yasuke or something like that. And I remember seeing a whole bunch of trailers for it, some gameplay, I want to say. I don't know if it's out. Let me know if that game is out, if that Assassin's Creed is out. You feel me? I don't know if it dropped, but I do remember like promo for it. I do remember them talking about it. You feel me? So I don't know if it went anywhere, but according to Discussing Film, Ubisoft canceled an Assassin's Creed game set in the post-Civil War era. Featured a black assassin who was formerly a slave. Players would fight the emerging KKK. Leadership canceled it after concerns with U.S. political climate and Yatsuke backlash. So, again, I don't know if the Yatsuke one dropped. I don't think it did because I'm sure I would have seen more footage than I did, but I could be wrong. Anyway, this game right here specifically sounds like an incredible game. It sounds fire as hell. I don't know, like, I hate when people are offended on other people's behalves. For real, because it's like, when you say U.S. political climate, are you talking about, like, who are you talking about? You talking about white people? Because why are we asking white people about how black people feel? Like, that's bugging me out right now. That's bugging me out because I know that I'm going to be a little bit biased just off of the strength that I'm a history buff, I'm a historian, and I'm a traditionalist, and yada yada yada, right? But this game objectively sounds fire. I don't, like, as somebody who's played Red Dead Redemption, and enjoyed those games, like, playing a former slave who gets to kill the KKK, bro, like, that's literally, like, that's literally black excellence. I don't know what's going on. Who will be offended by that? I'm dead trying to figure that out. Like, when did being able to actually fight your oppressor digitally a problem? Like, what? I'm telling you, if you line up 100 black men and ask them, like, yo, would you like to play a video game where you play a skilled assassin who was a former slave who gets to kill KKK members? I am telling you, 100% of those men are going to tell you, absolutely. When is that game dropping? Are you shitting me? We play GTA to death. GTA 5 came out over 10 years ago and it's still being played, fam. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Who's offended by this? Who? Please tell me. Point me to the people who are offended by this game's concept. Oh my God, bro. Like, I'm dead ass just thinking about the game, son. Like, this game would be so fire. If y'all know the Assassin's Creed, like, brand and how they, like, how the main, the protagonist in the game moves, how stealthily they move, how strategic they are, how dope of a character they all are across all different timelines and, universes or whatever it is. Assassin's Creed is that work historically. You feel me? And to put a black man in the center of that, and then him being able to fight off racists in whatever missions that would have to, take place. You can go from the south to the north because there's stories that, like, what, son? This would have been an incredible game. Like, that's crazy, son, that you would cancel this. Like, what? The concept is so fire, son. The concept is so fire, and I hate that whoever was, on the board or whoever made the decision, like, I'm tight that they made this decision. You should have asked some real niggas who really care about black people if this game was going to be offensive, and I can tell you that it's not. Tell you that it's not. Motherfuckers gotta be out of their mind. That game sounds so fire. If you play Rockstar games like GTA or Red Dead Redemption, like, the potential of that type of premise. It's not enslaved. It's not like he was a slave. I would have took it a step further and, like, had him, like, actually, like, free the slaves based upon him being an assassin, but formerly enslaved, and then able to use these super dope assassin skills to kill racist white people. Like, yo, dog, that is like a black man's dream. Like, I don't understand. This is the dream video game. That's so crazy, son. So, yeah, let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. Am I tripping? Am I not understanding how offensive this game could be? Like, I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing the offense at all. I guess we could check out the article. You know what I'm saying, while we're here. Let's see. Sammy says, but there were slave masters that were nice to their slaves too. Oh my God. Company leadership deemed the project too controversial for the moment. Oh my God. So whack. Oh man. So let's hear about the game. The new game would have brought the history-spanning series to one of its most modern settings, the American Civil War, and more so the Reconstruction period that followed in the 1860s and 1870s. Okay, a lot you can do with that. You know what I'm saying? In this Reconstruction era, Assassin's Creed, gamers would play as a black man who had been formerly enslaved in the South and moved west to start a new life. Recruited by the series Assassins, he will return to the South to fight for justice in a conflict that would, among other things, see him confront the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. That sounds so fire. Dog, that sounds so fire, bro. What do you mean? Oh, man. The people were enthusiastic about the game, but were also frustrated by its cancellation. Which they perceived as Ubisoft bowing to controversy. Well, yeah. 3 sources told them that the word filtered through the company last July that management in Paris had stopped development of the game for 2 reasons. Online backlash that sprang to the reveal of Yatsuke, a historically inspired black samurai, as a protagonist in the company's then upcoming Assassin's Creed. Shadows, and then 2, concern that the political climate in the United States was becoming increasingly tense. So what, bro? Like, hold on, son. The management in Paris? Who gives a fuck about what Paris thinks? Like, what? Who cares about the management in Paris? Oh my God, son. We got a bunch of Parisians talking about the U.S. climate of politics. What? Quote, too political in a country too unstable to make it short. What? Yo, they be acting like America really about to implode sometime soon just because like Donald Trump is in office or whatever, bro. That is so gay. Like, what? Make the game, yo. Ubisoft, make the game, son. Make the game. Why are they acting like this? Yo, that's another thing that I want to know. Why do people act like we are like dead ass in the Jim Crow era or something like that? Like, I don't understand that. Y'all have more white partners than ever. Y'all have more white friends than ever. Y'all get, like, I don't understand. What is this shit about the political climate? What the fuck is this game going to do? Please tell me. Inform me. Inform me what the fuck this game could do to society. Should this game come out? I don't understand. What's going to happen in society if Assassin's Creed drops a game about a formerly enslaved black man who was kicking ass and taking names? I really want to know. Who's this game about to radicalize? Ubisoft, well, however you say the name. Explain to me, son. I don't understand this shit. You got motherfuckers in Paris trying to tell them how I'ma feel about a video game. This is dumb. This is ass backwards. Yo. FC, all right. Not even on no DEI shit. But every major company needs to have a board of black American niggas. Straight up and down. Every major corporation needs a department of black American real niggas. That's the fact. So we can let you know what's actually going on and what's actually not going on. Y'all need the board of niggas for real. Because this is dumb. Y'all are listening to management in Paris. Not even niggas in Paris. Management in Paris. Foolishness. We're losing out on good IP. Okay, great memes would have came out of this game. Some racist ones, I ain't gonna lie. Definitely a lot of racist memes was coming out of this. You feel me? But so what? Racist memes are gonna live on forever. Like they yeah. Dog, we missed out on another great game. And Rockstar, please, yo, I don't need another pushback on the date. I really don't. I need you to stick to your word. Didn't they say May 2026? Is that what they said? Did they say next year? Hopefully, because I'm about to be buying a whole console just for that one game. The last time I played a video game was GTA 5 when it came out. Played with it. Jesus, played it for a few years and then stopped because I wasn't about to keep upgrading consoles and shit. And you gotta fucking upgrade consoles more than you gotta upgrade iPhones and technology, man. What else we got? What else we got here? All right. So this was an adorable video. Just super adorable video. Hold on. Says his parents asked their son to help them in their restaurant so that he could see the hardships of life and told him that he had to serve customers quickly. He's faster than lightning. I thought this video was just fucking adorable. Not gonna hold you. Yeah, that's a fact. Put them little people to work, man. That's gonna be the moral of today's story. Put them little people to work. That's a fact. Let's check the chat. The chat is booming. Jeez Louise. Let me check. My fault. Let's see. Oh, man. CWJ says, not bad, but in this political climate and how divided this country is. Man, fuck all of that, man. Fuck all of that, bro. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that shit, man. I don't care, son. All of these sensitive ass people, I do not care about none of that shit. I ain't gonna hold you, son. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care. Like those people, like this country is not even, first of all, it's not even like that. Let's get that understood. It's not even like that. Most people are still getting their asses up, going to work, or doing what they were going to do in their lives, regardless of whatever is going down in Washington. Whatever is being said on the television by Trump. Just like the same thing applies to Biden and every other president, bro. Like, I don't care, son. You feel me? Like, that's so whack, son. That's so whack. We got to worry about a bunch of people who are offended on my behalf, who would still lock their doors in their car when I walk past. Like I'm done, son. And again, it's from people in Paris, bro. Nah, fuck that. Sammy says, ain't no ninjas in Paris, bro. Yeah, man, ain't no niggas in Paris. Come on, son. After Jay-Z and Kanye West, like that was it. That was the only niggas in Paris, bro. There's no niggas in Paris. I don't care. Crystal says, as if there were not black people doing that very thing during slavery and after. Oh, shit, exactly. Shit. I hope we find one tonight. I hope we find one. I'm going to try to find an assassin, 19th century black assassin. Fuck it. If we can't get the game, we'll get the story. Yeah, definitely. We're going to look for a black assassin for sure tonight. Sammy says, I say release the game, let Nick Fuentes play the voice of the Grand Wizard. Oh, man, he'd love that. I'm sure. Oh, man. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Inorganic always put children to work, even their own. I don't even know what that means. A cat. I think I know what you mean, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to explain what you mean. If you say it in the chat, you say it in the chat. I don't care. Is that it? Is that all we have? That's all we have. Oh yeah, this shit. Yeah. We're gonna talk about this briefly, then we're gonna get to the criminals. But yeah, man. So if you guys are not familiar, I know a lot of you would be, but for those who, don't really follow anything political or whatever, this white man that you see on the screen is a man by the name of Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is a talking head. He's one of those political correspondents or commentary. He's famously known from the meme, the guy sitting with the mug at the table, and it's like the template that says "Change My Mind." He is the person who originated the whole "Change My Mind" series, and then of course the subsequent meme that was created from it. So I've been aware of Steven Crowder for some years now. I want to say at least 6 years now. I want to say I started listening to him, or I started listening to him. I want to say like 2019, maybe 2020. I soon fell off of him. I never really rocked with everything that he said. I mean, common sense stuff you're going to just obviously agree with. And he had a good, interesting morning show. I'll give him that. But some things happened with him that I don't really care to talk about. Certain silly shit when it came down to his marriage or whatnot. And then he just started repeating talking points. It's a few of these people who are either conservative, Republican, or at the very least like anti-democrat that I've come across and shit like that. And I've come across dozens of them. You know what I'm saying? I can list a bunch of people. And what usually happens with me is that I see that they're not actually serious about what they're doing, and they are at most content creators, grifters at worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, it's no longer interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer interesting to me, and I focus on shit that I can actually not only enjoy and be entertained by, but shit that actually is real. It's coming across real. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's the reason why I fell off of Steven Crowder's show. I know plenty of people still do. As you can see, this one clip from whatever he was doing here went viral. And so Steven Crowder apparently goes to a black barbershop to talk shop with a bunch of black men. Now, the reason why off the dribble I'm not really fucking with this is the optics. Not that a white man is in a black barbershop and, black men are talking to him. No, it's Steven Crowder still grifting off of Charlie Kirk's death. And I'll tell you why. So, Steven Crowder, after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, right? Him and a few other of his friends or whatever it is went to Charlie Kirk's set and took a picture and, was like, oh, we're still, Charlie's living through us and all that other stuff. Cool. Then he goes on his show and starts talking about how, like, if you come to any of my events and you try to do harm, you will be, killed and all of that other stuff. And it's like, okay. Then he recently announced that he was going to do the Change My Mind series again. He's back outside. He's back outside doing public debates and stuff like that. And it was like, you can tell that it was like a perfect storm. Even if Steven was planning on doing this and coming back, to do the Change My Mind series, Charlie Kirk being killed during a debate about guns and all of that other stuff. And, you know, that's been a long grift for a lot of the right-wing people and all of that. You feel me? Like, they've been able to go to colleges and debate college kids on their, you know, half-baked liberal principles and all that other stuff. It's great content. It's been pretty much like premier content for damn near 10 years, if not more than 10 years at this point. Ben Shapiro and them, they all do it. Shout out to Who with the $5 super chat. Shout out. So when it comes to that, that was like a genre of video that they all got into. You know what I'm saying? Steven Crowder was one of them. So of course, people are in the comments like, "Oh my God, Steven is so brave. He's so courageous. After Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, he's going back out there. He's letting them know that he's not afraid of these crazy Democrat, left-leaning, liberal leftists and these left-leaning liberal Democrats, left-leaning liberal." Like, that's how they do. That's how they are in the chat. You feel me? Going crazy. Having him look like this super courageous dude, right? And then he posts a picture of him getting a level 2 bulletproof vest strapped onto him. So let you know that you don't need somebody to, you know, put that on your body. You could do it yourself. But he did it again to posture like he's this super tough, I don't care, I'm gonna still say my opinion no matter what. Rest in peace, Charlie. We're gonna still speak on for you, brother, and all of that. We super tough, you know. And now he's going to a black barbershop. He's going to a black barbershop, again, in the middle of a lot of the right-wing talking points being about how violent black men are and all of that. And there was somebody who posted a clip from this interview and literally said, and he had a blue check, somebody with a large following, was basically saying, "Yo, Steven Crowder went into the lion's den." Steven Crowder went into the lion's den. You feel me? And it's just like, the lion's den, like, it's the framing. Like I said, that's what I mean about optics. I don't care about like black and white men coming together to have, you know, fruitful debates about politics and shit. Like, that's totally cool. I'm not tripping over that. But him doing it, like, I'm telling you that this is a very disingenuous display of good faith debate. It's not like every conservative has bad faith debates. That'd be insane to say. But when it comes down to people like Steven Crowder, I already see what the pimping is. Like, I already see what the game is. And so that's what this shit is about. So this is what the fuck he had to say to a bunch of black men.
People who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you, you have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guns. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. They go, "Look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person." And you go, "Well, that doesn't count." They go, "Look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah. And where?
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion. And I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked." And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism. You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
So now, see, this is the shit that I find so funny with white conservatives. This is the shit that I find like hilarious with white conservatives, because what white conservatives will do is make white problems black Americans' responsibility all of the time. Like, yo, son, overwhelmingly, when it comes to white homicides, right? The homicides that end in a white person dying. Guess who was the perpetrator of that crime? A white person. Surprise, surprise. So now, that's one. So you can talk about likelihoods of one race killing the other or whatever. Honestly, inconsequential. Because if you stopped all of that interracial, violence, you would still be majority killed by white people. Because that's how that works. So looking at a particular subset of stats or whatever, or particular circumstances, how it as it pertains to somebody's race and likelihood and all the other shit is very cute. It's very cute debate tactic. But the overall issue, if you actually cared about white lives, would be the white homicide rate. Because, like, again, with me, when it comes down to black lives, right, I care about the black homicide rates. Like, I genuinely do. I don't sit there and blame guns. I don't sit there and blame white people. I don't do that. So for a white man to go into a black barbershop and talk about white death as if it's black people's problem is insane, son. It's absolutely bonkers to me. Like, what are you doing? Why are you telling me this? White people die at the hands of other white people. Why are you bringing your white issues to my goddamn barbershop? So, yeah, how about you focus on that? And that's the thing. When y'all are seeing this so-called culture war, understand this is white on white beef. This is white on white beef. And this is the reason why, like, I be telling black Americans to focus on black America, because these people, these crackers is not worried about you. What they do is they scapegoat you. That's what they do. So Steven gets the grift on black people and race relations, because again, this is only so his viewership can look at him like some type of G for going to a black barbershop and coming out alive. Because again, the perspective is that black America is just wall-to-wall violence. Like, he might as well had walked into, Iraq or something. He might as well, have walked into like a war-torn country and done an interview. This is like Gaza to them. Like, he's so crazy. What would, you know what I'm saying? What would he do? Why would he do this? He's so brave and all this other nonsense. It's like, bro, he just sat down in a fucking barbershop and started talking. That's mad easy to do. That's literally the place to do that shit. Like, that's what barbershops do. They talk about this shit all the time. You don't think black barbershops talk about black issues? That's where the barbershop talk history even comes from, nigga. This ain't nothing new. And including the white men in these conversations ain't new either. Ancestors did that too. So it's like, yo, when it comes to this shit, like, white conservatives, they try to offload their issues on the black people because black people have problems. Black people have their own problems. You feel me? And then they try to make it seem like it's black people's responsibility to, speak to whatever they may be in fear of as white Americans. It's like, bro, that's not my fucking issue, bro. All of the shit that we got going on that y'all bring up, your fucking propagandized, 1350 shit and all of that other shit, that shit don't even affect y'all for real. And you don't care about actually solving it. You don't. You use it as a shorthand to speak on black American inferiority. That's it. That's what y'all do that for. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't fall for the pimping from black conservatives, or white conservatives for that matter, but black conservatives too. But in this particular context, white conservatives. Like, I could be against all of the degenerate shit that's in my community because I'm a decent human being, not because some white conservative said that shit. And that is where a lot of black conservatives get it fucked up. You need to get your black American statistics, your black American understanding from black Americans who are decent people. But what you do as black conservatives is lump all black people into this one big ass fucking box or bag and then judge them accordingly, but then want to be treated differently yourself. So y'all, these black conservatives that be talking about black culture, it's like, so do you engage in that shit? No. Well, if you don't, then what the fuck are you practicing? White culture? Is that what you saying? Like, how is it that you being a decent black person, so you say, isn't a part of black culture, but the shit you hate and don't like is? Because y'all niggas don't actually care about black people, despite you being a black American. Y'all a bunch of bootlickers, and that's the reason why I don't get involved when it comes down to like the left or right fight. Both of y'all are correct. Both of y'all are whack. Black liberals and black conservatives, they're absolutely right about each other. Because if you're going to be a black liberal and actually stand on black American progress and not just parroting whatever, your white liberals say, And likewise for the black conservatives, then y'all would actually be solid people. But what tends to happen is that the white people that line your pockets, the white people that follow you, the white people that you want to, sit next to or get next to, they get to say every little thing about black America that's negative, and y'all eat it up and they give you money for it. And that goes for black liberals and black conservatives alike. They're no different to me. Y'all grift on the same shit. Black liberals grift on black death just like black conservatives do. They do the same shit. So for me, I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all. Y'all don't actually care about these issues. You only care to, talk about the issues because that gets you paid. That's it. If there wasn't any economic incentive for you to do what you're doing, you wouldn't do it. I studied history way before I started to monetize this shit. Because I genuinely am a historian. Like, I'm genuinely somebody who studies history. I had an actual job. You feel me? The fact that I can do this and make bread from it is a bonus. And I'm just smart enough to actually monetize one of the things that I'm interested in. But this is something that I do regardless if I was getting paid or not. And that's the reason why the product is so potent. That's why the streams are as successful as they are. And the content that they're in is successful as it is because this comes from a genuine place. Y'all know I'm an actual fan of their ancestors more than you could ever understand. So when it comes down to people like this, it's like, I already know what's this going to do? This is about to get you millions of views. This is going to be able to line your pockets even more. And you'll never have to interface with another black person again. I'm not saying that's what he'll do, but like you did it, right? You already, it's documented. You went to the black barbershop and stuck it to the black man pause and told him about himself. And then I'm not going to hold you. I've seen his show enough. I've seen his debates enough. He don't curse like that. He don't. But of course, he in a black barbershop, so he got to get his F-bombs off and shit like that. Like, I see it. I see the grift. That's one of the first things you taught in Hotepistan is how to see the grift. That shit is an invisible force. But, if you can see it, if you can sense it, you'll be okay. And he's clearly grifting. Clearly grifting. It is what it is. Shit is crazy, son. Let's check the chat, son. Stevie J's barbershop is the Lion's Den. Yeah, bro, they called it the Lion's Den. Let me see if I can find that shit, bro. That shit was crazy. I was like, oh my God. I was like, no way. No way. Yep, here it goes, right here. Look at this shit, bro. Wow. Steven Crowder went into the Lion's Den and told a group of black men reparations are immoral and they imploded. Crowder. Oh, I'm not about to read the transcript. But yeah, son, he called it the Lion's Den. Like, come on, son. Almost a million followers, bro. Almost a million followers called a barbershop the Lion's Den, son. Like, what did you think was going to happen, bro? What did you think was going to happen? That these niggas were going to, like, viciously attack you for saying that y'all don't deserve reparations? Like, come on, son. Like, this is what I be talking about when it comes down to propaganda and white people falling for the pimping. This is 1,000% an example of white people falling for the pimping. Y'all fell for the pimping that black American men are these foaming at the mouth, vicious beasts that walk the earth and can't wait to do harm to a white person. That's the number one thing on the vicious black beast's mind is to do harm to the white man. And that has sunk into your fucking brain to where now a white man sitting down and having a casual debate with a bunch of black American men is considered the fucking Lion's Den. Because y'all fell for the pimping. Quite frankly, this is the reason why I don't talk about white people, to be totally honest with you. Because it's like there's so many things wrong with white America. They need the white version of Hotep history, for sure, to let them know like what their history is actually about. to let them know what their politics are actually about, and understand that you need to be accountable for your people. There is absolutely none of that bootlicking, white people are better than black people bullshit. You'll never get that type of energy from over here. That don't ever happen. You let them black conservatives and white and black liberals get that shit off. Like I'm a black Hotep, nigga. It's different over here. You only gonna get the good, great, and excellent of black America because that's what the fuck I am. Let's wake that up. That's one. And then two, white people be lost as hell. They ain't lost as hell. You got this white man desperately trying to argue about some shit that, again, doesn't necessarily affect him. So when it comes down to reparations, let it be known, you don't give a fuck about where the money is coming from. Like that's a dub, because you don't do anything to stop the government from spending the money that it spends year in and year out, and we're $37 trillion in debt. I've never seen the Steven Crowders of the world organized to be able to, audit the government. Didn't what was that, the Pentagon? Wasn't it the Pentagon that failed another consecutive audit? Hundreds of billions of dollars unaccounted for. And you telling me about how the immorality of reparations? Are you fucking dumb? This is what I be talking about. Like, y'all be having bigger fish to fry. That's white on white. Yeah, it affects the rest of the country, but those are white men in those positions. Why are you not focused on that? Why are you not focused on the corrupt white people? And they're not. They're largely not. They worry about the leftists, the liberals, the Democrats. Like, bro, dog, like, it's deeper than your little two-party political, worldview, bro. The people in your own backyard be doing fuck shit. The people in your own backyard, your local politicians be on fuck shit. Yeah, I don't do anything about it, son. But you in a black barbershop talking about the immorality of reparations, man. Fuck you. This does nothing. This does nothing. This is all posterity. That's all he did this shit for. You didn't change near one of those black men's minds about reparations, and you didn't change your mind about reparations. You just did that shit just to say that you did it. It's clout chasing bullshit. All he wanted was to be able to, quote unquote, dunk on niggas, and then if shit got shaky, be able to say that, I got into a heated debate, the shit turned violent, and I was able to still live to tell the tale. That's it. That's all he did that bullshit for. It's all a grift. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So that was all that was my timeline perusals. That's what happened tonight. Oh, I got more followers. That's what's up. Shout out to the new followers. Again, if you're new here, if you're just tapping into the live, make sure that you're subscribing to the Patreon. Okay, I just dropped a great little mini documentary on T. Thomas Fortune. It's called the T. Thomas Fortune in the Political Independence of the Negro. It takes place in 1884. So if you guys are interested in learning about political independence in the late 19th century, letting you guys know that this shit goes back. Okay, this shit goes back centuries. The ancestors been talking this political independence shit for a very long time, and it's very insightful. I recorded it myself, I edited it myself. So let me know how I did, man. If you did see it, let me know in the chat if you enjoyed it. So yeah. So let's get into a couple criminals, and then we'll slide on over to Patreon and do what we do at the Patreon. That's another thing. You might as well subscribe to the Patreon now, because we going over to the Patreon in just a little bit. You dig? So yeah, let's get into a couple people. So I learned about a man by the name of Railroad Bill. Have you ever heard of Railroad Bill? I've never heard of Railroad Bill before today. Yes, so this placard here says legends and lore. Railroad Bill immortalized in folk songs. Outlaw Morris Slater robbed L&N trains, caved to poor, long evading capture, killed near here in 1896. So let's get into it. This is in Alabama. All right. The legend of Railroad Bill. Who was Railroad Bill? Was he the Robin Hood figure the legends have described? Was he an outlaw with murderous tendencies? Or was the idea of Railroad Bill just a story meant to share at night with friends and family and friends? The story of Railroad Bill first originated in 1895 when an African-American hitchhiker was found on a Louisville and Nashville L&N railroad line near Mobile. Train personnel found the hitchhiker sleeping on a water tank, but when they tried to restrain the man, he shot at the railroad employees before escaping into the woods. This started a manhunt leading train detectives to Bay Minette. On April 6, 1895, detectives found and confronted an armed man. A gunfight ensued, resulting in the death of Baldwin County Deputy Sheriff James H. Stewart. The man, dubbed Railroad Bill, evaded police and sparked a widespread manhunt. This is the sketch of him. Yeah, he looked like he don't take no shit. Here we go. Railroad Bill's conclusive identity was never definitively discovered. L&N detectives believe he was a man named Morris Slater, but others thought he was a man named Bill McCoy. Slater, also known as Railroad Tom for his rapid work pace, was a convict lease worker who had escaped from a turpentine camp in Bluff Springs, Florida. McCoy would eventually be shot by brutal law enforcement. Yet, the identity of Railroad Bill managed to remain a mystery. In July 1895, Railroad Bill found his way into Florida, where he had another brush with law enforcement. Florida Sheriff E.S. McMillan tracked Railroad Bill to a house in Bluff Springs, but was fatally wounded by the fugitive. Railroad Bill fled the scene, which sparked a joint effort between Florida and Alabama police to find the outlaw. So he's smoking shit between states. So all right, he first smoked something in Alabama. And then he done evaded police, made it to Florida, and then started smoking shit out there. And he boomed a cop. Oh shit. He continued to evade capture, instead robbing trains and reportedly selling those goods to low-income families for cheaper prices. Hey, so son became a booster. Son was robbing trains, so he was whacking police and robbing trains and then selling them at a discount to low-income people. That's what's up. See, I appreciate that. Still got to get your bread. Not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on the run for my life. I done killed the cop. I boom shit. You feel me? They on my tail. They not about to arrest me when they find me. I can't lie to you. I have to make some money off of this merchandise. Can't lie. I need some chips for this. But listen, I'm going to give it to you at a steep discount. I got you. We talking 75, 80% off. You feel me? Like anywhere between 50 and 90% off. You can't beat it. You're not going to get any of these wares, any of these goods for this price, especially in this condition. You feel me? So, I like that. Make your money, cause that way, cause you on the run, you got to keep money in your pocket. Okay, you can't just survive off the land. You feel me? That's just what it is. Railroad Bill became a legend among the African American community, despite a majority of black citizens condemning his actions. See, look at us. His actions showed courage, and the longer he evaded law enforcement, stories about him became more myth than fact. People began to claim that he had supernatural powers and shape-shifting abilities that helped him escape capture. Listen, man, let the kids run wild with it. That's super fire. I'm not mad at folklore. I'm not mad at being able to embellish stories and shit like that. Like, I feel like that's a part of anybody's culture. I feel like that's super dope. You know what I'm saying? And as long as the adults who are actually doing the record keeping, you feel me, make sure that the record is, you know, what it is for actual like historical purposes and shit like that. Yeah, let the kids run wild with how, you know, with their mythos about, you know, whoever, black criminals or, you know, whatever. You dig? Hold on, let me check something real quick. Gotta check something. All right, for sure. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Okay. So where we at? L&N Railroad, the state of Alabama, the state of Florida, the town of Bruton, and Escambia County joined efforts in raising $1,250 reward for the capture of Railroad Bill. The reward created a frenzy among the public, with bounty hunters coming from across the region, creating a small army. Okay. So we're going to have to say 1896. Sammy, where you at? $1,250 in 1896. What we thinking? What's the number? Let us know what the number is. Y'all already know Sammy is the resident adjusted for inflation adjuster, excuse me. Let us know in the chat, Sam. $1,250 in 1896. What we got? Let's see. Many innocent black people were identified as potential suspects. See, I knew that was going to happen. Suffering from beatings or even being murdered. See, look at that shit. Look at that bullshit immediately. Look, now this shit turned into the purge for niggas. This is what I'm talking about. Now you just want to kill black people. Oh, that's it. That's it. Railroad Bill's right there. Shoot him. And it's like, no, that was not Railroad Bill. It's my Uncle fucking Henry, man. These niggas killed Henry. Knowing he wasn't Railroad Bill. You niggas gonna think and get a body? You just give these people a body and be able to make money, bro. That's not how this shit works. You need to have the actual bounty on the person. You're just out here murdering indiscriminately, you fucking dickhead. Anyway, $1,250. Sam got us the numbers. $1,250 in 1896 is worth $48,210.71. 50 grand. So of course people was coming from all over the country. 50 grand? Shit. And of course these dumb idiots is trying to, they killed, oh my God. The Palm Belt News in Bruton even ran a story entitled "The Wrong Man Shot." Stupid. In March of 1896, a man was gunned down at Tidmore and Ward's General Store in Atmore. It was believed to be Railroad Bill. How his final moments happened are largely up for debate. Some say he was simply sitting on a barrel eating and was surprised by authorities, while others say he started a shootout in front of the store. And then some like to believe Railroad Bill walked into a trap at the store. Railroad Bill's body, or at least the body of the man believed to be Railroad Bill, was put on display for the public in Bruton before being shown in Montgomery and Pensacola, Florida. Crowds traveled far and wide to pay 25 cents for admission to see the body. No one could definitively identify the man, and his final resting place is unknown. So this is a dead ass, like a ghost story for real. That shit is crazy. Out here whacking the motherfucking police. That's insane. But I mean, for $50,000, I ain't gonna hold you, son. Like, I can see that. 50,000. I wonder why they don't do bounties today. Like, I know, like, they got a dog the bounty. I'm talking about like real bounties and shit like that. Like, I think we have a more sophisticated system now. You know what I'm saying? I truly do. But hey, yo, we about to head on over to the Patreon. All right. So make sure y'all come on through. Am I live on the Patreon? Somebody check on the Patreon if I'm still live on the Patreon. Let me know. Somebody who's on the Patreon, right, who's already subscribed to the Patreon, let me know if I am. But yeah, come on over to the Patreon, man. We about to get into more criminals, uncover more stories. That's where it's at. Patreon.com/Hotep History. As you can see here on the link. On the link right here. Patreon.com/Hotep History. That's where you'll find us at for the rest of the evening. You dig? Thank you guys for coming on out. This was another great one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we're going to get into more stuff over on Patreon. So, again, man, come on through. Sign up for the Patreon. Let's have a conversation. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you can't have the future without the present, and you can't have the present without the past. And we don't study history to live in the past, but to order our steps in the present so we can do what? Positively affect our future. Thank you guys again. Again, come on through to the Patreon. The conversation is not done. We're just getting started. You're going to love it. Okay? You're not going to regret it at all. Come on through. And as always, man, you got to always Hotep and build.